Behold, Galvatron.
Hey y'all, my name is LinkFrostimus, and today we're going to be taking a look at the
Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron.
Reformatted by Unicron, a fatally wounded Megatron is reborn once again as the more powerful Galvatron to destroy the Matrix. But after being hurled across the galaxy by the new Autobot leader Rodimus Prime, Galvatron suffered from brain damage that turned him mad. And that's when I started to not really care for him. So, Galvatron is a key figure in Transformers lore, but that isn't the reason why a new toy has been a long time coming. It's actually because the previous Galvatron, Titans Return Galvatron, sucked, and he was long overdue for an improvement. So witnessing the Generations line absolutely killing it recently and hearing that a new Galvatron was on the way, I was seriously looking forward to this guy. But like with Cyclonus, his reveal didn't quite meet up to my expectations. But does that mean this guy sucks? Is he even better than Titans Return Galvatron? Well folks, let's find out. Here's Galvatron in his robot mode, and at first glance, he looks awesome, but taking a closer look reveals several things I have a grudge with. Let's take a look. First, his proportions. Not on board with them. Honestly, it's not bad, but when you compare him to the tall, strong proportions of the G1 cartoon, it makes me wish he adopted this. Instead, Hasbro and Takara turned Galvatron into a short king. Short, stocky, but still buff and strong. Tyler 1 vibes, anyone? Speaking of his proportions, one thing in particular that I don't like are his legs. Again, in the cartoon, his legs were more defined and shaped like legs, whereas
Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron
has straight up hot dog legs. I don't have a problem with how his arms look. Hands look weird though, except that I got one of the misassembled Galvatrons. In his shoulders, the center joint is installed upside down, causing the shoulders to sit lower than intended, and this doesn't help his proportions at all. I don't want to forcibly open up his arms, so my fix is just to rotate the shoulder and then twist the arm back to normal. The cost is that his shoulders are backwards, but I don't care. If you find a
Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron,
this issue should have been fixed, but just in case, just make sure his shoulders are up like this instead of low like this. Thanks for the mass misassembly, Hasbro. Really appreciate it. My next issue is the head. It looks off. His face looks menacing, but just not nearly as tough and gruff as the cartoon, and his crown helmet is just not shaped as cool as it should be. And he does look a bit weird when you look at him from some angles. The final thing, the colors. The colors are cool and fitting, I'll admit that, but I just wish it was a tiny bit more indigo. Now stepping back for a bit,
Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron
kinda has the same issues I had with Kingdom Cyclonus. I wish the face, proportions, and colors were more cartoon accurate. But like with Cyclonus, if you try to separate this guy from trying to be a perfect representation of his cartoon appearance, this is a damn cool Galvatron. The shoulder spikes, the red abs, the particle beam cannon, his silhouette, mwah, beautiful. Really cool looking guy with some really cool details. All his classic details are there, along with some cool sculpted detail, but an odd and unexpected return, battle damage. It's on his chest, arms, and legs. Some people have a problem with it, but it's not a big deal to me. Anyways, have I mentioned that this guy is cool from all angles? Look at that clean profile. Look at that clean back. Man, all this guy's got going for him makes him the ultimate new Decepticon Emperor of Destruction. What a cool robot. A massive step up from his Titans Return incarnation. And another step up from that toy is the accessory department. Just like how you can't have Megatron without his fusion cannon, you can't have Galvatron without his particle beam cannon, sometimes called his ultra fusion cannon. This carrot of mass destruction pegs into the sides of Galvatron's arm, and combining it with some big blast effect parts, not included, can really show off just how powerful and dangerous this thing is. A cool looking weapon. For his other weapons, we got the Revenge, his ship, but shrunken down to be handheld weapons. The sculpt is really nice, but it's gray. Gross. He comes with two, so you can either dual wield them or combine them together into one bigger weapon. It's alright. I actually like the look of him dual wielding them better. And finally, we got that Ice, the Matrix of Leadership. Yet again, another Matrix, but attached to a chain. And this goes around his neck to pimp him out. You can also take it off the chain, but it's useless because he can't hold it. How much is this guy? $50? Sorry, they increased the price. Inflation, am I right? $55. A leader class figure, and you couldn't figure out how to make his fingers hinge to hold the Matrix? Gross. As for storage, the cannon stays on him pretty much 24/7. There's no reason to take it off. For the Matrix, he's either wearing it or he isn't. The Revenge guns have a place to go though, on his back. It's actually a pretty cool look too, and that's it. Not a lot, but it's the essentials. I just wish he came with a big purple blast part for his cannon. I feel like that is something he's missing, but even without it, he can still get in some cool poses to bring out the big guns. Galvatron's got the essentials, though that doesn't mean he has everything. Like I mentioned earlier, no hinged fingers, and with this guy being a leader class figure, he definitely could have included it, but still, fantastic range. Unfortunately, the ankle tilt leaves a lot to be desired. It only goes this far, but you can activate the transformation hinge to make it go farther, but it breaks the sculpt. So yeah, weak ankle tilt. Damn, now that I think about it, he's straight up on par with his mates Scourge and Cyclonus with posability. Again, not bad, all the essentials, but for a leader class figure and literally leader to them, Galvatron should have flexed on them with hinged fingers and a satisfactory ankle tilt. Also, for me at least, he isn't the most solid. His legs are actually fairly loose, sometimes they forcibly split when I try to stand him. It sucks that for a leader class and compared to his goons, he's the least solid. Still, he's more than capable of some cool poses. Whether he's in an action pose or just standing there, Galvatron's got an undeniable presence that makes him pop. Combine him with Scourge, Cyclonus, and Unicron, and this display is something I've dreamt of since a kid. Oh my god. And that's Galvatron's robot mode. He's pretty cool and pretty fun. All my complaints I have are just because I've been spoiled with how much the main line has been killing it recently, but he's still a good figure, and definitely a step up from Titan's Return Galvatron. This is the Galvatron that we've been waiting for. Is there anything else I can really say about him?
Here's a hint.
Behold, the Galactic Cannon Mode. A treaded tripod weapon of mass destruction. Now, it's a bit of a debate on whether or not Galvatron's alternate mode is even cool in the first place, but I think this cannon looks pretty sweet. First, the transformation. If there's anything to signal that this is a leader class figure, it's the transformation, and what a process. The transformation is intricate and super fun to do. It's such a surprise and astonishment that they kept a cannon mode hidden within a decently represented and kibble-free robot mode. Bravo, Takara! And Hasbro too, I guess. Anyways, the cannon mode. Looks cool. There's some new detail that's showcased, but not really much else to say though. I mean, it's a good representation of the cannon, definitely better than Titan's Return Galvatron, but what else is there? There's actually some tiny wheels on the treads and on the back leg of the cannon that can make him roll. Not too crazy, but he can still move. You can even adjust the angle of the front legs and back leg to change the degree of where he's aiming. I do really like the thickness of the cannon. It makes it look more powerful, and the cannon looks great from all angles, especially this one right here. Wow, that's cool. Primed and ready to absolutely disintegrate Starscream. If there's one thing I don't like, it's actually the back leg. It looks too obnoxious, too big, too noticeable, and the gap created isn't the prettiest look. Yeah, but yeah, it's cool. But we're not done yet. Accessories, baby. The accessories are actually technically part of the transformation. I just had them off, but they're easy to put on. First, the particle cannon. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Next, the Nemesis guns. They actually peg onto the side of the cannon, and that added firepower looks pretty sweet. Also, I hope you paid attention in class because this is how you properly put on a matrix. It actually goes through the cannon and pegs in here. Neat storage and a nice callback to his fight with Hot Rod in the movie. And that's it. He's solid, a bit hefty, and a good size. This cannon is a cool mode, but the static nature of it makes me not think too much about it. Let's be real here, the Galactic cannon is a glorified brick, but a shiny brick nonetheless. I think the only real value to get out of this mode is that of a display, because there's not really a lot to do with it. And with that, along with a pretty good robot mode that didn't quite meet my visual expectations, I can safely say that
Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron
is good. Now, don't let my disappointment with how he looks turn you away. This is a good figure, and that fun factor is there. Just, if he looked a little bit more like the cartoon model, I would have rated him higher. There's also points where he just doesn't feel like his leader class price point. He's just missing a few things, and he doesn't match up to my image of Galvatron. But with this guy's engineering, Takara has built upon a foundation for a future masterpiece Galvatron to create that movie Galvatron that I and so many other fans desire. With how he stands right now, though,
Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron
is the definitive G1 Galvatron. And with a
Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron
reissue coming soon, that's another chance for you to own this phenomenal figure.
I have a confession. I have deceived you. This figure is not Studio Series 86 Galvatron. But it's the exact same thing, except Studio Series is color indigo, the cannon is solid orange, which looks ugly, and it comes with a bad comedy backdrop. At least with Springer, they added stuff to him, but with this guy, he is virtually the exact same figure. Essentially, you just saw a video on Studio Series 86 Galvatron, and that is bad comedy.
See ya!